Hi everybody, I am Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. I've got your reading for this week, your angel messages. And for this week, we are going from, when I find out the dates, Monday the 7th of March through to Sunday the 13th of March. Hope you've all had a great week. Hope everything's fine. I've managed to get my mug back on back on camera. So this week coming up, we've got an awful lot of things going on. We have got, that's my little piece of paper, and remember, I'm not an astrologist. I do go off, when I do my readings, when I do my angel readings, and especially my tarot card readings, I am picking up on the energies of the astrological influences that are going on at the time, even if I actually don't know what they are. I'm still picking up on the same feelings that they're giving up and giving off, and the same aspects, and that which is the energy that comes through into the cards whenever I do a reading. So I might not know the ins and outs of astrology, but subconsciously, and my higher guides, and I'm led by those anyway, so that's what comes through. But anyway, I know about this week because it's going to be a busy week, I think, for all of us. There's a lot of changes going about. We've got the new moon in Pisces on the 8th, which is Tuesday, and then at the same time, around the 8th or 9th, we've got a partial solar eclipse, and that is also in Pisces. So it's like just water everywhere, water signs. So there's going to be a lot of emotions going on. Keep yourself in check and keep yourself as well balanced as you can. The new moon is all about manifestation, being ready to receive everything that you've been wishing for and wanting, and be open and get your heart chakra open to be able to do that. There's a lot of, because it's Pisces as well, which is a very intuitive sign to start with, plus these eclipses, I've had dreams for about the past week now. Every single night I've been dreaming, and it will be the same for you as this time is around. So very intuitive, lots of synchronicities around, lots of gut feelings and just this knowingness. So be very positive about what you're thinking. Remember what you're wishing for. Keep your thoughts very much in control if you can this week. That's very important as we go through this transit, because I know that the effects of this partial solar eclipse is going to last for the next 6 months or so, so probably through until September of that. And if you look back to last September, whatever was going on with you last September can, or it's sort of likely it may come around again around now or over the next few months, because if there is a lesson that back there that you didn't learn, if there's something happened that it'll just come back again, and it's time to relearn it again. So just watch out for that. I know it could be good things, you know, it could be you were in a really good job at that time, or you were in a good relationship, or things like that. They can sort of resurface as well around this time. So whatever, look back to last September and see what was going on last September for you, and you might see some synchronicities and things going on around this time as well, which will relate somehow to back then. So just be aware of that. So this week coming up, as I say, there's a lot of changes. That is why we need to stay positive. Unexpected things coming in, gifts coming through for us, hopefully. Be careful what you're thinking, okay? If you're being miserable, if you're upset, and you're aware of that, try and raise yourself up and get your vibrations higher, because the new moon is very important, and because we've got this sort, it's just making everything sort of 3 or 4 times stronger and bigger than usual, and this always happens around eclipse time, so we just have to be aware of that. Pisces and the sol and the eclipse is all about beginnings and endings, so you might find that some things are ending and then new things will begin as you enter a new phase. So maybe this is, I think this is why when I did the cards last week, and I spoke to quite a lot of people last week, and everyone was in confusion. Everything was just, including myself, it was just pure confusion. We didn't quite know, sorry, I've got a hair, right where we were or where we were supposed to going. And there was a certain, for some of us, just a little bit of fear about the changes that are coming in, because we don't know if we want them or not to come in. But we may not have a choice. That's just the way it is, and we might not have a choice about it. But let's go with the flow. Let's go through it. Let's stay positive. Hopefully positive things should come in for you, and just see where it goes. You're going to start to harvest things in, bring things into you that you have sown seeds for previously, over the next week, 2 weeks as well. You're going to start to see, at least if it was in the tarot cards, it'd be the aces. So not quite there yet, but you can see the hints of it. You can see it starting to come through for you. So be aware for that. So anyway, angel cards for this week. I'm doing my Doreen Virtue angel cards. The Spirit Messages by John Holland. Got that one there. We'll have a Fairy Tarot card, which is Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I don't know if Radley Valentine, I think he does the artwork on them, but they're amazing. Oh no, sorry. Illustrations are Howard David Johnson. So Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, the fairy cards, they've collaborated on that together to do that. Thank you, Doreen. And the chakra, we'll finish off with a chakra card from Tori Hartman, and we'll see what that has to say and what energies we're going to be dealing with next week. So where am I starting? Let's start off with the hard ones that I usually, which I won't drop. I know there has been a lot of confusion over the past week for quite a few of us, and not knowing where we stand, or not knowing quite which direction to go in, or and it's almost, it has been a releasing and letting go of a lot of things. So we just sort of leave it up in the lap of the gods, I think, and just be positive, only think about what you do want, and hopefully your guides and angels will bring out, well, they will bring to you whatever is right for you, whatever you need in your life, whatever you need to change, whatever needs to be stepped up, whatever new beginnings you need to take, whatever endings need to happen. That's what they will bring into you. This is why it's always important, if you finished a relationship or you finish a job or something, just to get it all cleared, because then we have times like this where if we haven't cleared it, then we're going to start getting lessons up again to relearn. So this is always important to continually try and stay as clear as we can, and cut cords, and be as positive going forward. Even if we don't know where we're going and what we're doing, it's just a case of trusting in your guides and angels, and knowing that good things will come around for you. There's been a lot of I think there has to be a lot of self-nurture soon as well. There's been I've heard there's been criticism around. There's been you caring what other people think, which you really shouldn't. You shouldn't give a damn what anybody else thinks, as long as you know that you're being true to yourself. It doesn't matter, because again, that's their perception of you, which could be some massively old perception that they used to have of you, and they just haven't been able to change their view on something about how they feel about you or what they see in you, and you're a completely different person. So that's something that they will learn eventually, or deal with, or but don't let it affect you in any way. That one. Right, that's one chosen. thing about not being well at the moment for me is I'm oop, losing my double chin. I put loads of weight on over Christmas because I just sat here all Christmas doing loads and loads of readings and eating in between, and so finally it's falling off now. Your sleep might be slightly disturbed as well at the moment with all this activity, planetary activity going on as well. And as I say, emotions, just be careful. You could be really, really happy one minute and then burst into tears the next and not know where it came from. Just because everything's just, it's Pisces, it's water, it's all emotional. And those of you that have got a rising sign or a moon sign or a sun sign that is water, it's going to affect you maybe a little bit more than everybody else. That's that one. Let's have one more and then I'll put the camera down. Thank you for everybody who has purchased one of my on-demand psychic messages. It's the first real month that I've done it, so that's really good. Oh, and while we're talking about that, the readings that I'm putting out for this week, over the next couple of days, I'm going to do a 4-card diamond spread for each sign, as opposed to, you know, health, relationships, loves and everything, because I think it's a good week to do. I just feel like I want to do them like that this week. It's a good week to do it because of what's going on. And I think that might help. It'll be a little bit more directed, a little bit more specialised. So that's the card I've just pulled out. That's quite a good one for this week. Let your past go. We'll go into that in a minute. And chakra card for this week, and I'm imagining it probably it's going to be one of the lower ones if we have to clear anything. It's your sacral chakra. Yellow. Right, let's get on to the cards. Namaste. Thank you to all my new subscribers for coming on and saying hi, and thanks for all the emails, and all my subscribers that are always with me. If you want a personal reading from me, please click up on the link in the corner. I'll put all the on-demand things down below as well if you want to look at those. But thank you, and remember it's Sunday, so 7 o'clock. For those of you that do the weekly meditation, get involved with that. The more of us that can do it all at the same time all over the world. So you'll have to check out, the link is below for it, and we'll check out what part of the world you're in to do that as well. The quicker it'll come, quicker world peace will come. Okay, right. Let's see what we've got. Okay, camera is down, and we're starting off. This is exactly what we were talking about before we brought out the cards. It's the Four of Autumn, and it actually says, manage your resources wisely, achieve a balance in how you spend and save money, and help out those who are less fortunate than yourselves. Being thankful for what you've already got and not concentrating this week on lack of anything. Also, the big message that I feel that is coming through with it is the comparing yourself to other people. That's going to create confusion for you, and taking in other people's opinion of you as well, and caring about what other people think of you. The most important thing is what you think of yourself. That's what you're reflecting out. So it's not about what other people think of you. It's coming from inside. You have to reflect that out in order to get it back. So and the money thing as well. With the money thing, help out those that are yet less fortunate than yourself. That is showing you automatically this week to be grateful for what you've got, to be thankful for what you have, not what you don't have. If you've, let's say for instance, you don't have much money this week and you've only got a couple of dollars left to your name or something, go and give it to somebody on the corner who's homeless, even if it's the last that's in your pocket, because you can't do much with it. But that person that you give it to, it's going to feed them. It's going to feed them. It's going to put a smile on their face. It's going to, what goes around comes around. Be charitable this week. Remember, you know, the guy on the corner, the ones that are sleeping in cardboard boxes every night. And then look at your own life and be thankful for what you've got. Always be thankful. What you give out comes back to you, and it always does. And that's one of the universal laws. That's the way the world works. And I have seen rich people over time, and they wouldn't dream of giving a homeless person a sandwich or a couple of dollars or something, because they believe that that's how you get poor, by giving your money out to somebody else, by being generous to somebody else. That's how you yourself get poor. What a load of codswallop. It actually does help, and they might be receiving lots of money, or they might have lots of money, but there'll be other areas of their life where they will be blocked and they won't be receiving anything. They may not be receiving love. They may not be receiving the right relationship that they want. They might not be receiving the respect that they want, because they're not giving it out, so they're not getting it back again. So every aspect of your life does have an impact on every other aspect of your life, if you look at it in that way. So don't hold on to your money too tightly. So don't hold on to it too tightly, and you know, don't be over generous with people that don't give back to you, especially friends and family, partners, that sort of thing. Don't keep giving to them if they're not giving back. And I think we had this message last week, but it's coming through again loud and clear, because there will be an area of your life that is going to get blocked if you keep doing that. And if you keep giving out and not receiving, you're blocking yourself from receiving something. So, but the abundant gifts is like looking into a mirror, and if you can only see the lack, that's what you're going to get back again. So absolutely deadly positive this week. That will help you become unblocked. That will help you to move forward. Next card we've got, let the past go. Let your past go. Make sure it is gone. As something else I said before I drew the cards, you know, clearing, making things are gone. We're now wanting to bring in new things, and we're going to start bringing in new beginnings and that. So it's let the past go. Or let the past go in the way that you perceive it, or the way that you knew it. I mentioned earlier that because of the eclipses, you may, you know, stuff that was going on last September for you may have a bearing, or give you a hint of things to come around this time. Now, if it brings back old jobs or old friends or old relationships or anything like that, you want to bring them back in as new ones. You don't want them the way they were. They need to come back as new ones. They need to come back in transformed. So don't concentrate on the way things were, and let the past go. The actual reading on the card, on the front of the card, says the burden that you are carting around with your past has made you weary, dear one, and it's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love. Only remember the love from situations from the past. Leave everything else behind. You don't want it, you don't need it, and it's gone now. You don't want it back in that way. You don't want any situations from the past that were sad, or you're looking at the negative of them. You don't want them back. And we're in manifesting week. We're in the new moon and the eclipses. This card has come through because your thoughts and your feelings about the past are holding you back. You're repeating a pattern. because of unfinished emotions from your past. Remember, I said lessons can come back in for you to relearn again, because you're going in a cycle that you cannot get out of. You're getting stuck in an old pattern. This is your time to just clear the decks. Clear the decks, clear it of negative feelings, clear it of bad situations, everything, and to move on into the new beginnings. So you need to forgive. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive others. You need to look at the past with love and only look at the good memories. Be happy and move forward from that. Stop any painful patterns that are happening. Just, you need to exchange it, and it's an exchange for peace that's happening. Exchange it for peace and happiness, and radiate that out to get it back like the mirror. And talking about mirrors, I hate mirrors. Relationships is the next card. Relationships are just mirror images of you that reflect back to you. So whether it's a friend, a family member, work situations, people you meet on the street, whoever it is, what they're reflecting to you is what you're putting out. If you're putting out negativity, if you're being miserable, guess what? That's what's coming back to you. It's just mirrored back. So change the way you feel inside. Stay positive this week. It's however you feel, however you treat yourself as a person is what is reflected back to you. I'll give you an example, because I've been a bit off the past few days with emotions and everything going on, and I know that I'm in the same boat as everybody else, and it's just get positive and get good. Mother's Day today. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. My darling, beautiful son bought me a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream this morning. And if you don't know what Bailey's Irish Cream is, it's whiskey with like a mixture of cream and milk, and it's very, very sweet, and before my awakening, I used to love it. I'd have a load of ice in it, and I could knock them back for England if I wanted to. I don't drink that often anymore. I hardly drink at all, and I certainly couldn't stomach something like Bailey's anymore, because I don't do dairy products anymore. I drink soya milk, coconut milk, butter. I don't have butter anymore. I have soya spread instead. So I cannot tolerate dairy products, and yet this thing is absolutely full of cream. And I was so upset this morning because he hadn't put enough thought into the actual present that he bought me, bless him. He did something wonderful for me by buying me a present for Mother's Day, but I actually got upset about it because I couldn't drink it, and he couldn't take it back to the shop either because he'd got rid of the receipt for it. So he's going to have it later. He did take me out and make up for it, which was brilliant. And thank you to him for that. But you can see where I'm coming from on that one. He didn't put enough thought into what he was buying. Why? Because this week I haven't put enough thought and effort into myself, because I haven't been feeling well. For some of you, you will relate to that. Have you been putting enough thought into yourself? Have you been nurturing yourself enough? Or have you just been running around as usual doing things for everybody else? Well, that's what gets reflected back to you. That's what happens. So those attitudes that you have about yourself have to change. You have to let go of them. And yes, we all have times when we feel sorry for ourselves, but we have to always just get into the habit of, as soon as you realise, move above that. For those of you that are questioning certain relationships in your life, it's a time of evaluation. Appreciate the relationships again for what they are now, from relationships from the past, good or bad. Just think of the good, and just look at what emotional, physical, mental, spiritual level you are on or are coming into this week, because there's more learning to do if you cannot get balanced. So it's important to this week, and I'm sure most of you are, and most of you will do. And hopefully, if you're not, maybe hopefully this will just give you a little bit of a kick up the bottom to get you out of that and to move you forward. And just remember how important the next few days are for you. No matter what category a relationship falls into, it acts as a teaching tool for the lessons that your souls need to learn. You know, and I may have got a present this morning which I couldn't use, and I couldn't, but it, you know, he went out and bought me something else instead, bless him, and he's going to have the Baileys. But really, if I think it's Mother's Day, think of all the mothers in the world that are not going to get anything. Think of all the mothers in the world that maybe don't even have their children with them. You know, maybe their children have passed on, maybe their children have moved away, maybe something's happened and they're not with them. I have my children. Most of you have your children, so it's about being grateful, being really, really grateful and thankful for what you've got, and remembering to radiate that out, or else it will come back to you. It will just mirror back to you. And the last card, which is a good one. So it's just all about we want to receive. We want to let the good stuff in over the next week, and we want to let go of the past, nurture yourself, make sure that you are happy, content, rise above everything that's going on, and bring these new beginnings in for you that you have been hoping for and you've been planting seeds for so long. You know, this week you could very well start to see them coming through. The last card is joy. It's not very straight. Last card is joy, and it's yellow. So meditate on your sacral chakra, the one above your belly button, before your heart chakra. It's about, if you put 2 fingers just above your belly button, that's where this one is. And this is your core as well. This is what keeps you strong. This chakra keeps you strong. So if you're in fear, if you're in doubt, if you've got insecurities, it all comes through and it all comes out of that chakra. So that's the one to meditate on this week and keep clear and keep balanced for you. The legend of joy. We don't know much about Dancing Daisy, but we know that she brings joy wherever she appears. Everybody who sees her becomes happier and more peaceful. Arguments cease when she comes close. People are healed physically as a result of her presence. No one knows where she came from, but she's beautiful and she's joyous. So again, it's just about being happier and more peaceful in yourself, because that in turn makes other people around you happier and more peaceful. And that's what you want to reflect back to you. So it's about being as joyful as you can this week. Be thankful for everything that's coming in for you. Don't look on the negative. Just be wonderful and nurture yourself, and don't care what other people think about you. Don't care about other people's opinions of you. If they give you an opinion and somewhere deep inside you, you know that it's true. Because for most of you, you get an opinion back and you know it's not true. It's just how they perceive you. But for those of you, or those of us that, you know, somebody will say something and you say, or they'll come up and say, you're really miserable all the time, or you're really selfish at times. And look at that. And if you genuinely know inside, you know what, I was a bit selfish there, or I was. It's a reflection. That's it. And that's one of your lessons to learn, that you can learn it. But when they say something to you which you know it isn't true because it's something from the past or an old perception of them, and they're too blind to see that you've changed, they're too blind to see the differences in you, they're just going off the old you. And that's different. Don't take any notice. Don't let it get to you. But if it's a genuine if it's a genuine one and you can look inside yourself and say, yeah, sometimes I'm a bit selfish, or sometimes I can be a bit miserable, and that makes other people around me miserable. That's your lesson. Stop being miserable. Stop it. So a lot of you with joy as well is improved health. Yay. Which is good. I'm slowly starting to feel better from day to day. Health is improving. So for any of you as well this week that haven't been feeling too good, then health should start to improve for you. Be playful, be joyful, be a delight to be around. Okay, so those are your angel messages for this week. So it's a long one, but it is an important week for you, for all of us. And as I say, the effects of this will last, you know, a few months. It just doesn't happen for the several minutes or whatever that the eclipse is happening, as we know. So take care, namaste. I hope this helps. I really hope it helps, and I'll be back soon with your weekly readings as well over the next couple of days. Love you loads. I will speak to you soon. Bye.